What's up? It's your boy, Big Reg, coming to you once again, not from the shadow of the big house in Ann Arbor, Michigan, but from New Jersey, USA. But still celebrating the Michigan Wolverines' monumentous, historic victory over OSU in the game that propelled us into a chance of winning the Big Ten championship in the 2021 football season. Folks, joining me tonight to reflect even more upon this historic occasion. This cleansing, if you will. There are so many things that happened this weekend. And man, oh man, isn't it fitting that it happened all on Thanksgiving weekend? First, our man from the inside, the one, the only, JB.
It's producer JB. But let me just tell you that the atmosphere in the stadium was not even close to what you could hear on TV. I've watched the replay twice now, straight through, and while you might think it was loud, it was roaring in the stadium.
Wow, somebody's pulling a Simba can't wait to be king right there. Let that lion roar. Next, joining us, the one, the only, JC from Sunnyside.
I want you to look to your man to your right. Look man to your left. Say, I got your back.
I got your back.
I got your back.
I got your back.
This is our house. This is our house. This is our championship. This is our winner. First. Fight. I'm a dog. You a dog. Me a dog. Give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Whoa!
Shout out to our O-line, Sherrod Moore, and his chant before the game. Ooh, let's go. Let's got
me pumped up. Holy smokes, I'm a dog, you're a dog. Let's go. Oh, man. Next, joining us, fresh off a shower and a workout, the one, the only, nameless guest.
Oh, the cleansing, quite literally so. Fresh with all the debt and all the grime and all the nastiness, just like yesterday, just all washed clean. The jubilation continues. And one of the benefits of doing a little delayed second round react is you get to see all the wonderful other reactions. Just one quick one of the many that have flowed in. Oh my gosh, John Madden giving props to the O-line, the best he's ever seen. Harbs himself telling Sherrod Moore, the aforementioned Moore, don't ever get that off your phone. Don't ever let it leave your phone. Great job, O-line.
Wow. Love it. Now, joining us next, the one, the only. Oh, this guy is, I'm hoping he's making a commitment. This right here is a revival of sinners, of wayward folks who have gone off the path, but now are coming back. This is a come to Jesus moment right here. We'll see if he answers the call. The one, the only, Mr. Squarehead.
I just want to say, I was still partying today. Still partying, walking around in my Michigan shoes. Michigan shoes, baby. And despite having Jim Harbaugh as the head of the snake of our team, we pulled it out. Despite Jim Harbaugh as the head of the snake, we still pulled it out, and I'm partying, baby. I'm partying. You know why? It doesn't matter who the head of the snake is. We won.
Reg, we got a special guest popping up today. We're going to call him Mr. Bagman from Pittsburgh.
Whoa!
Mr. Bagman, can you introduce yourself? Get off mute, buddy. This is a professional show.
Hello. I too ashamed to show my face, but for being the doubting Thomas that I was leading up to this game. But Lord has answered our prayers. Let's just be thankful for that. And go blue. Go blue.
There you go.
Oh, the special guest. Let me just start by the special guest. I read your comment, special guest, calling out JC from Sunnyside. Just calling out JC from Sunnyside.
Hey man, I just look. I gotta be honest. Look, they struggled. They were struggling the last few weeks. You look at the letdown against Michigan State. Looked pretty pedestrian against Penn State. Even the game last week, the week before against Maryland, the score was obviously what it was, but I didn't think it was nearly as dominant as a score indicated. So, yeah, I thought that OSU was going to run us out of the building, but hey, I stand corrected. It was an amazing team effort. Got to give credit where credit's due.
I was surprised that you called me out, even though I gave you that ride to Bursley after that outing. I remember your freshman year.
I got love for you.
Bursley,
I got love for you. But hey, like I said, sometimes, you got to speak truth. I thought that was the truth, and what can I say? I was wrong.
This is a cleansing show. It's all right. This is a cleansing.
Hey, I just want to say, I have no idea who this bagman from Pittsburgh is. I had no idea. But I apologize for leading you astray and thinking that we're going to lose again this year, because I did predict that we were going to win. But I apologize to this guy. I don't know who he is, bagman from Pittsburgh.
I gotta say, Squarehead, you had converted me. I mean, when I first started watching this show, I was like, this Squarehead guy, he's so freaking negative. Look at me now. Look at this. Oh,
it's all right. This is a cleansing show, guys. This is a cleansing show. This is an altar call. This is an altar call now, okay? Come just as you are. Just come just as you are. Just come down those steps.
Please
come down to the
for
altar.
my doubting ways. Oh, never again. Never again.
Cue the keyboard. Get the music going. Background music.
We need the twins. The twins doing body worship. That's what we need. Body worship. Oh my goodness gracious.
Let's get to it.
Well, first and foremost, producer JB was giving us a little bit of a taste of what it was like inside the stadium during the game. Producer JB, the man on the street, tell us what it was like inside that stadium when you rushed that field after that victory over the Buckeyes.
Well, hopefully in our edits, we'll be able to get some video clips of it, of me rushing the stadium. But let me just tell you, going into the game, the snow started to fall. As we're getting prepped, 11:45, we start heading to the stadium. Everyone's going there. I'll be honest with you, the number of Buckeyes there was not as much as I expected. I thought there was going to be at least twice as much there, but they weren't. And I'll tell you right now, most of the Buckeyes were not talking smack at all. It actually felt a little unnerving that they weren't saying anything. They weren't talking smack, anything. And as we're walking to the stadium, the snow starts to fall gently. It's like bitter cold. It's like 22 degrees. We have hand warmers in our gloves, hand warmers in our shoes. And we get to the stadium, and the coin flip goes. We're going first drive. And you all know when we feel that first drive, we're nervous as heck. And I'll tell you, as soon as we started going down and we started getting first downs and going along, you could just tell that the atmosphere of this big house changed. It was electric. There were people, it was as loud as almost I've heard it before, if not louder. I mean, you guys know on the screen that we got several false starts, but those false starts were the crowd. The crowd just making it very difficult for that OSU line to even hear CJ Stroud. They started putting a tally up on the scoreboard saying, first false start, OSU 0, crowd 1. And then they would just go ballistic. Second one, they were good. 2, we just kept counting up to 6 false starts that we were doing. And it was electric. By halftime, 14-13, I would honestly say a lot of people felt comfortable. They were like, we're in the lead. We're not getting blown out 49-0 like some other scrubby team out there. And going into the half, we knew adjustments were going to be made. The last 2 quarters of this game, electric. Electric. I can't tell you enough how much the crowd were into it, how much we were just going ballistic over everything.
But producer JB, in order for this to be a true cleansing, you need to come clean as well, brother. You need to come clean as well, brother. At what point did your heart realize the error of your ways? At what point did you realize that these Michigan Wolverines were not going to go quietly into the night? When did your heart turn back to the good?
I'll tell you, probably the Blake Corum run for 70 yards. That shocked me. That shocked me that was happening. A guy with a high ankle sprain running for 70 plus yards on a top rated defense. I mean, that just turned me. I literally laminated my ticket so that I would save this for the rest of my life. Pass it on to my children. Laminated here. Laminated, folks. Lamination in it. It will hang on my wall. It will be forever encased in the sweat and tears of what happened. My boy Danimal from Colorado, North Dakota comes into the game. I told you this story before. You all mocked me, and we just knew that it was magical.
I've got to say, no, stop now. Stop.
Magical moment.
I've got to say that it's getting a little bit embarrassing. The amount of euphoria. Come on, man. So you're saying that this should be expected from Michigan football?
Come
on, man.
What?
Yeah, we beat them once in 20 years, but are we not expecting to do this again next year? The following year? Come on, man. You should have 20 laminated tickets. You're going to give that one ticket
Where's
to
the
your
mute button?
grandchildren?
Mute button. What a tired narrative.
Come on,
Mute
man.
it. Producer, you're not doing your job. Mute this garbage, man.
No, but I think he has a point. This is why this is what led to my doubting ways, right? It's not, obviously all's forgiven after yesterday, but come on. We were 0 for 5, about to be 0 for 6, I thought. Hadn't sniffed a Big Ten championship. Like let's at least be in the conversation. We weren't even making these games competitive, and that was what was really getting me. And so again, I was wrong.
This does not sound like true repentance. Create in me a clean heart.
You're right.
And
That's why
cast me not away. Come on now.
From the
you're right. That's why I'm wearing the bag on my head. I'm not ready to own it just yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm still wearing the bag of shit.
Oh gosh.
Come on, man.
I fully repent. I was the only one on this panel who chose OSU. I apologize for doubting, but I give you 100% credit to my boy Dan. He dropped his 3 kids from family vacation, flew in just for the game. I mean, it was because of him. He also went to the
1997. Oh, come on. Stop that nonsense. Mute him.
1997. You can't because I'm the producer. 1997 championship. He went with us. Do you remember that, Batman? We took that vehicle out there.
I do. I remember that.
Did you believe that we were going to win that national championship?
And may I say also, probably the last time we beat Ohio State in a meaningful game.
Wow.
So I want to talk about the game because I understand that you would feel a little bit of this squarehead and bagman if we had a fluke win, right? That we threw a Hail Mary and somehow a tip ball that we caught, but we dominated this game.
Hey, hold on.
Just sheer domination.
Please.
Yesterday, reading everything, just letting everything soak in. Like, it was sheer domination. We ran for 300 yards.
Didn't see it.
300 yards. They knew we were running, and they couldn't stop us.
Nobody is saying that we didn't dominate. I agree we dominated, but everybody on this panel, including Nameless, was saying how everything had to go perfect, and we even needed the help of the refs. to win this game. Nobody predicted a dominating win by Michigan. So we all should stand corrected here. Oh, come on, man. You predicted.
My prediction was 38 to 27. That was my prediction. 38 to 27. Now I want to see the final score was 42 to 27. I thought the last drive we would just kill the clock and kick a field goal to make it a 2-possessioner. But Hassan Haskins was like, you know what, Big Reg, that ain't good enough for us because we hungry. We hungry for more. And we got that last touchdown instead to make it a 42.
Hassan Haskins deserves the team MVP award. He brought it home. Any doubts that Bagman had whatsoever in terms of this game turning away like MSU were put away when Hassan Haskins runs for multiple first downs in the whole fourth quarter.
Come on,
can we just we mentioned it a little before, but I feel like it has to come up again. Major props and credit to the coaching staff, starting with the top. Coach Harbs, the man, stuck to his guns despite all the criticism, wanting to be run out of town. Now, Bagman, Squarehead, all the naysayers. I mean, come home. Just come home.
Hey.
Be jubilant. Stop being naysaying. This is a time of celebration and giving the man his due. He stuck to his guns. He brought it back home to smash mouth, kick you in the mouth, just demolish you, demoralize you football. I mean, Gaddis, calling the most beautiful, his best game of the year, the much maligned Gaddis, the creativity, even with this 300 yards of run. I mean, those pass plays, the reverse, the quick strike down to CJ. I mean, there were so many great things. It was unbelievable. Coaching staff deserve massive
props. But you just said it. Harbaugh doesn't do anything. It's Gaddis. It's McDonald.
Garbage.
Hey,
garbage.
Did you see on the sideline Harbaugh on his earphone saying, "Hey, do you want a timeout? Do you want a timeout?" Did you see that? He doesn't even call his own timeouts. There's a reason why we won this game.
On the instant reaction show saying Harbaugh for president. Remember that?
Yeah.
Does anybody else remember that?
We'll have to
This was the guy. And now all of a sudden, he's trying to minimize the accomplishments of what's happened.
I'm not taking anything away from the performance yesterday. Like I said, it was a masterful performance, top to bottom, from coaching staff to every player on the field. I'm just saying, leading up to the game, I don't think it was something that most people would have expected, right? Gaddis hadn't called a game like that since he showed up in Ann Arbor that I can remember. I mean, Harbaugh's always, the Harbaugh's record speaks for itself before yesterday. So it's, that's all I'm saying is before yesterday, I, just didn't see it coming. But it was nothing that doesn't take away from what happened yesterday. It was a masterful performance.
Oh, we got photo evidence on Facebook of Mr. Bagman going crazy in front of the TV. So we'll put that little clip up in this video too.
Like I said, I have no idea who Bagman from Pittsburgh is, but I like this guy. He deals in facts.
I'm with you. Look, Squarehead.
Oh gosh.
Another unit, unsung heroes that deserves a lot of credit. I know we talked about the D line, the O line, Haskins, our secondary, right? Much, we kind of been pretty tough on Vincent Gray last year. He played a solid game. DJ Turner, Rod Moore, those guys kept in front of him. Even those tough catches on the 3rd and 19, they were right there. I mean, they were just, you just gotta tip your cap. They made some tough catches, but they were right there. Our secondary, they were told, don't let the receivers get behind you, make a short tackle, and they did their job.
They should have said, don't let the catch.
Huh?
I said they should have told the secondary, don't let the receiver get behind you and catch the ball against your back.
Wow.
Oh, come on. Sometimes listen.
What?
Literally, OSU had to make like superhuman type of plays in order to even have a chance of in this game. That's how in control we were of the situation. Kind of echoing JC from Sunnyside, another group that's been much aligned. Again, I don't want to name names about who's been much maligning them, I mean, but the linebacker core, and specifically Mr. Ross. Mr. Ross stepped up big time yesterday.
I will admit.
Well, hold on now. Mr. Ross was a heat-seeking missile that helped shut down the OSU running game. So I gotta raise my glass to Mr. Ross and the fine job that he did. He did the Ross family proud. Michigan legacy. I raise my glass to you.
I will tell you full well, I admit that my disdain for this linebacking core really tainted my view on this game. But exactly as you said it, they stepped up big time to be able to get through. I mean, I don't want to nitpick. I won't nitpick. But they did a great job. But my actual defensive MVP goes to Rod Moore. I think Rod Moore is like the next, even better than Marcus Ray type of safety. The guy who's willing to give the hit, the guy who's willing to put his body on the line. He attacked Travion Henderson to stop him from multiple long gains by making sure tackles that we haven't seen in so long. There were times where Rod Moore, if he didn't make that tackle, they would have scored a touchdown. And he made it, and it was like Bagman said and admitted, all parts, all facets of the game, whether it was strong or weak, it all came together to make this victory possible. Rod Moore, I tip my cap to you. You are now turning into my favorite football player on this team. I love that you're a freshman. You're giving your heart and your body to this. And obviously, Aiden Hutchinson, my second most favorite. He's the replays, the Twitter review. I mean, you just saw Aiden Hutchinson blow apart first-round offensive tackles that are going to get drafted in the NFL. He blew by them. He blew through them. It was just amazing.
I mean, you guys say that we didn't see this coming. Like I said, I saw Rod Moore coming, right? I said Rod Moore is going to be key to this game. I said our D-line pressuring the quarterback was going to be key to this game. To bend but don't break. Keep them within the 20-yard line. They're going to move the ball, but they're going to be sputtering in the end in the red zone. I had said all of these things, and all of these teams came to fruition. And as a result, a dominating performance by Michigan football. Hats off to the defensive coordinators, so the linebackers. If you notice, number 41, Nikai Hill-Green, the last few games, they've been kind of pulling him out because he's been struggling. They put in Barrett. They pull out Ross on passing downs. They put in Barrett and Colson. These adjustments during the season, during the game, such a difference than what we had with Don Brown. Hats off. My cap is off. To McDonald, to the linebackers coach, the coaches. They deserve a lot of credit. Harbaugh, as a leader, he deflects all the credit but takes all the blame, right? But we need to give him some credit here.
And he sets the tone, and he cleaned house, and we ridiculed him, as did much the national, the press on, go big brother, I need some help. Can you lend a hand? He got his D coordinator, Mike McDonald, no-name young babyface guy from Baltimore, and look at us heaping all the praises on him. Much deserved too. I mean, that scheme, the adjustments. He is a genius. He's critical to it. But Harbaugh, he's the guy at the top. He pulls the strings. Who put the signs up? What are you doing today to beat Ohio State? Who's coming up with the beat Ohio drills? Okay? I mean, the culture, the discipline. Hey, there was a play when Roman Wilson's holding onto his thing and they got his helmet taken off. The Buckeyes losing composure. Meanwhile, Michigan, the brothers, Trevor Keegan stepping up, big-bodied O-linemen sticking up for the brothers. No flags, no punches thrown. Michigan, the Harbaugh way, baby.
Hey, how come you are so quick to give praise to Harbaugh, but you never criticize him? I don't hear any of you guys ever criticize Harbaugh in the past 5 years. Come on, man. I'm the only one that led the Fire Harbaugh get rid of Harbaugh campaign. And by the way, I'm still the president. If you want to subscribe, let me know. I'm the only one that's criticized Harbaugh when he's made mistakes. And now you guys are going to say, oh, man, Harbaugh's the best thing since sliced bread.
No.
Just
Come
so
on,
glad you were
man.
wrong. That's all. Just so glad you were wrong.
Come on, Squarehead. There's video evidence of you loving Harbaugh immediately after the game. That your credibility has gone down. Gone down.
Well, we'll go with this. The other thing that was super satisfying for me after watching this game and soaking in the victory, part of that soaking in the victory and the ramifications of this victory was actually reading through and watching videos from the other side. And the other side, I mean, OSU team, the OSU fans, like watching Columbus, Ohio news outlets and, you know, their takes on things, reading the comments. A lot of the OSU fans were, how to say, it was a mixed bag. I'll just put it that way. Some of them were like, oh, those refs gave the game away to Michigan. But then others were like, Ryan Day's the worst coach ever. They were very squared-headish toward Ryan Day. And I was like, this Ryan Day fellow has never lost a Big Ten game until yesterday. And here they are harping about how Ryan Day is one of the worst coaching moves ever in the history of OSU. And I was like, wow, craziness knows no boundaries when it comes to fandom. The other thing that made me happy, not just seeing the OSU fan base losing their minds and not knowing how to deal with this new reality of a resurgent Michigan, was the fact that Ryan Day, let's not forget that this was the Ryan Day that said, let's hang 100 on Michigan. That, and the fact that we were the ones to take him down a notch and to deliver the first defeat in his Big Ten coaching career, not gonna lie, it made it that much sweeter for me.
Hey, another real quick thing that made me happy, nice little thread there, Big Reg, was, man, do we love our Juwan Howard or what? The symbolic leader of the 12th man out in the stadium, along with JB and Danimal. I haven't met you, but I already know I love you, man. Thank you for bringing JB to the big house to revel in the glory and to just roll around in the grass and just, I loved it. But Juwan, in the tunnel after the game, you could see him doing that little, I don't know what that was, little bow, kind of like, we're not worthy, like almost like an Asian kind of bow to Cade McNamara. But then when he sees Anthony, oh my gosh, it's like they were like, that was his son. The love, the crossover from basketball to football. This is what you get when you come to the Michigan family. It was beautiful. We love Juwan. Thank you for representing. It was awesome.
And he met Harbaugh after the game on the field, and he said, "They said you can't beat Ohio State. Now what?
Now what?"
The embrace, and then the embrace.
He lost to him 5 times before. Come on, man. Come on, man. He lost to him 5, and one of them was like a shellac. Come on, man. He lost to him 5 times before. What do you mean? When they said you couldn't beat Ohio State, now what?
The other thing I have to say is, which is a great outcome of this game, is there were some 5-star recruits at the game. Some 5-star recruits at the game.
I hope you guys saw it on the sideline, but this team was bumping on the sidelines. I mean, the atmosphere, the culture. I mean, when Cade McNamara says, what's different about this team? He's like, the culture. The culture's different about this team, and you see it on the sidelines. You see it in the players' faces. You see it in their body language. You see it in the head of the snake when he's deflecting and he doesn't want to talk about himself at all. He just wants this team to be the focus of everything. It's just different. It's different in the atmosphere of the stadium. I mean, you guys who are just doubting whether or not Harbaugh's legit, you feel it in the stadium. You feel it in the stadium. It's different.
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say something similar. Not only do you feel it probably in the stadium, but you see it. I mean, that's the thing that I noticed that was the most different. We're up 28-13. They score. And you're like, oh, shoot, here we go, right? But then what happens? We go right down and score again. So 35-20. They come down and score. And you're like, oh, shoot, here they go again. And we go right back down and score. So the response is what was really the telling thing. You know, time and time again.
Come on, man. Man from Pittsburgh. Like I said, I have no idea who you are. But anyways, you're saying what? We didn't try and go score and respond in prior years?
We couldn't. Is what I'm saying. We couldn't.
Exactly. And what's the common denominator there? Jim Harbaugh was still around. We have new coaches. It's not the head of the snake that's changed anything.
Well, I'm not saying it's Harbaugh. I'm just saying something's different. You know, for us to be able to stare OSU down, multiple times during that game. I don't know if it's Harbaugh or what it is.
Of course, it's not Harbaugh. It's
the
the same head of the snake.
Howard, but for whatever reason, they stared him down multiple times, and that was something different, right?
The person who made this culture change possible is the head of the snake. That's the only difference.
Doy.
The only difference.
How's that a difference? He's been around 6 years.
Oh, you can yell all you
Turn the
want, but
page.
everyone knows the truth. It's Harbaugh who made the decision to swap out that coaching staff and bring in younger.
Give me a break, man. He was probably pressured into because he wasn't doing anything for the past 5 years. He had to make a change.
Anyways, let me read some of the comments on the last preview. Our brother Daniel K-Gun, he wrote, heart is pounding throughout the second half, waiting for an unlucky penalty or turnover, but thankfully that never happened. Haskins' offensive line running it down their throats when they knew what was coming was an absolute joy to watch. One earlier stop on fourth down or turnover would have put things out of reach, but early mid-fourth quarter drama just made things sweeter once the good guys pulled through. Finally a chance to share a Michigan victory over the Buckeyes with my boys. I am still smiling a day later. Our brother Steve in San Diego. Hey, what a great game. We won in all phases of the game, coaching, offense, defense, special teams. Haskins and Hutchins played lights out, but this was a total team win. It's been a long time since I've seen such a complete team performance and such a complete game plan. I think Cade McNamara needs more credit, not sexy numbers, but with the exception of the beginning interception, he managed that game perfectly. Made the big pass when needed and made key QB run. That QB run was I didn't expect that at all. We need to give credit to the Michigan fans, those false start penalties Ohio had. I'm sure the crowd noise made it hard for the offense to hear the cadence. I love seeing Squarehead excited about Michigan football again. This was awesome. Last week, we've got to do the announcements. Drew Fowler, one of our devoted fans out there. We don't know who you are, bud, but he said 34-31 Michigan, go blue. He said, we effing did it. Excuse the language, but it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. Big Rock, 34-30, good guys. Andy Song, oh my God, Mr. Squarehead plot twist. He enjoyed that. But there was this guy named Ben from Pittsburgh. I don't know if Bagman knows him or not, but he wrote down this comment. Oh my God, so much to say about this episode. Number one, funniest episode. Love the ending, as Mr. Song said, the plot twist, Mr. Squarehead. But alas, I have to disagree with JC from Sunnyside. I'm more than willing to say I love you to this team, but love isn't all sunshine and roses. Sometimes love is speaking through tough truth. Sounds familiar. And the tough truth is this. Please don't hate me, Wolverine Nation. We are going to get blown out by 25 points or more. Don't doubt my allegiance to this team. Don't doubt who I'm rooting for. My heart bleeds maize and blue, but my head is telling me this is going to get ugly yet again. God help me. God hope I'm wrong. But if I'm not, God help us all.
I don't know who that is, but I can understand how he feels. You know, we've been through a lot in the last few years. I say we give him a little snack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we should.
100%.
Hey, Wolverine Nation, though. Who wants to be wrong about us losing that game? I wanted to be wrong. I was completely wrong. I admit that. I picked OSU to win. But, what?
Listen. Like we said, this is the cleansing episode. This is the cleansing episode. Y'all might have made some mistakes in the past, but who's going to win? Who's going to come out on top? Some of us knew right from the get-go. But the others of you that learned later on, that's fine too. As long as you come back to the fold, just come back to the fold. That's all we ask for. because we still got a lot to play for. Indianapolis awaits us. Hopefully we can go there twice. First for the Big Ten championship, and then we go back there again for the national championship.
Yes, sir.
Oof.
By the way,
No more room. There's no more room for lukewarm faith here. No more room for lukewarm faith. Squarehead, Bagman. No more Church of Laodicea. Get it out of your mouth. Just faith. Just commit. Just put your heart on the table. Just commit. Oh.
There's no question where my allegiance lies. Do I get a little nervous from time to time? Sure. Am I a little nervous about this week still? Yes, absolutely.
That's okay. Bagman, I consider you big man for just coming clean and just, taking it on the chin and just fessing up to, your true feelings. And of course, we've all been through the ringer. I mean, save for the big Reg, who has really been the true eternal optimist, a little bit unreasonably so, really.
I can admit that. I've been unreasonably optimistic at times. Right. I admit that.
But I give credit to you too, Big Reg, because you have lifted me in those dark times. Little bit, honorable mention to the JC, who's been quite rosy himself. Definitely second fiddle to the Big Reg, but Reg playing more to the persona because it was so unreasonable at times, I think. So unreasonable. But JC, bring in the facts, bring in the optimism. You had to just maintain just that hope and belief and that culture that like Aiden brought to the table. They're not going to pull that off without that kind of belief. They just can't. And so that's just all part of it. So I'm happy for all of Michigan Nation.
Aiden's interview at the end where just the emotions were flowing. He was like, he just surpassed his dad in terms of most sacks in a season. I don't know. I mean, could you have a guy who could be more representative of Michigan football and all the good things about it, and the way that he worked? He came back his senior year to work for this game, to get through this game, to make the impact that we knew he could in this game, and then just be at a loss for words, but still thanking the rest of his team, giving them all the credit for what's possible, and saying it's not over yet. We still got more to go. And that just, tears just flowing from me. Tears just.
And one more shout out to Ojabo, who had his parents there. The first game that they were able to watch, Ojabo, after that sack in the fourth quarter, he got up, pointed to the stands, to his parents. Oh, I got a little emotional. I got a little emotional.
Think about that. The first time you've ever seen your son play in person
Ever
is at the big house.
No, they watched him play.
Over
They watched
100,000 people.
They watched one of his high school games.
I'm talking about the college. Come on, this guy. Holy smokes. Why are you ruining the moment? Holy smokes. The snow's falling down. Oh, my goodness. It was like straight out of a Hallmark movie, man. David Ojabo.
One thing I'd like to ask producer is how much snow was coming down? Because what annoyed me was how these announcers, even before the game, they were saying how the snow would become some sort of equalizer and it would help Michigan. And I was like, dude, snow just doesn't fall on Ohio State and make their ball slippery. I don't know why it was a positive for us, but yet a negative for them.
How much of a callous heart do you have when we're talking about the most touching moment in the game yesterday, and then you follow up with,
"Hey, that moment is over."
What annoyed me was
the weather report.
Moment is over, dude.
Even Hannah's sister, who's watching the game yesterday with us, she started tearing up when she saw Michelle's parents in the picture. Come on now.
Moment's over. They were there. Fine. I want the weather report now.
He's Mr. Squarehead, but he has a brick for a heart. But anyways, the weather report, I'll give it to you straight. I watched the replay. Fox announcers, they should all be canned. I hate them all. I mean, it's basically two USC guys and a Notre Dame guy calling a Big Ten game. That's ridiculous. Reggie Bush is a punk. He's worthless. I don't know why he's on the show. All of them picked OSU and not us. So, Of course, Charles Woodson holds it down and says, Charles
Stoops.
Woodson was like, "You guys are crazy. Like, what are you doing?" So that was good. But yeah, Reggie Bush commented frequently that snow makes a difference. He would say that because he's a Cali boy / USC. I'm not gonna say it. That's not a nice word. But no, snow did not make a factor whatsoever. It was like it was maybe drizzling, but it had no factor on the game whatsoever. We just literally must. I mean, he's trying to give some kind of reason that we wouldn't have won this game, and honestly, the weather, the cold was probably more of a factor than any snow. But still, like OSU got whopped. We manhandled them in every single way of this game. So yeah, I think he was trying to make the case that if this was a neutral site or if this was like in a dome, it'd be different. No, we handled business and we took care of them. So I disagree with you completely. Snow was not a factor in this.
I think it's just funny that you were getting so mad at the Fox guys for picking OSU when you picked OSU. So, come on.
Hey,
Come on.
I got cleansed,
After the
man.
fact.
You can't hold it against me anymore. I got cleansed.
After the fact.
He got so angry. He's like, all those guys should be canned for picking OSU.
Hey, redemption, man. Redemption can't be conditional. Hey,
Yeah, at least they didn't go to Michigan either.
Hey, who's got this, buddy? Who's got this?
So happy for you. Totally.
Oh gosh, I'm telling you, one win makes all the difference, folks. One win makes all the difference. All of a sudden, all the prodigal sons are coming back home. You know what I mean?
Prodigal?
They're sorry. You know what I mean? Come on back.
Yeah.
Come on back.
Bro,
Drinking ball
Bro.
from Clemson.
season tickets.
Crystal balls
here,
coming
buddy. Season tickets.
Oh gosh. Anywho's, well, gentlemen, is there anything else you want to bring up before we wrap this up? It's been a heck of a season so far. A heck of a season. Now, like I said, now we have the playoff season to look forward to. Next big one, of course, being the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis versus the Iowa Hawkeyes.
The only thing I want to say is amazing job yesterday. I love you guys, this team. Don't F it up next week.
Hey, fair. Got to keep it going.
Oh my gosh.
On
Wow.
to the next one.
Again,
On to the next one.
shouting out the offensive line. Just can't get just enough credit for the job they did yesterday. Sherrod Moore, the way to pump it up before the game, just playing like dogs. 300 yards on their backs.
Love it.
Well, like we said in the other video, and as we mentioned today, yesterday's victory was the embodiment of the team. It was a total team effort that led to a total team victory. Oh man. So I couldn't be more pleased with what happened yesterday. Not just that we won, but how we won. Oh, so I raise my glass. Coach Harbaugh, the rest of the coaching staff, and the young men that make up the 2021 Michigan Wolverines football team for changing the narrative and getting the job done. Kudos to you, fellas. What does that say?
Aiden for Heisman.
There's a callback. Holy smokes. There's a callback indeed. Well, you never know. Aiden Hutchinson might get invited to New York right after that performance that he put on yesterday. Anywho, there's nothing less, gentlemen. We're going to raise our glass. We're going to say, on behalf of a grateful U of M, Wolverine Nation, go blue.
Go blue.
Blue.